kind of the different approaches to being an isolationist nation, and I kind of liked that, and how instead of how Killmonger's approach to kind of taking over the world with this technology was like, I'm going to take Wakanda by force and then lead them to it.
Yeah, spread out.
Yeah, he wanted to make an alliance, and I thought that was fun to kind of have that debate, and how Shuri did not back down on her stance, even though she does appreciate his culture and does know where he's coming from.
But it seemed like he was more demanding too. It's either you're gonna fight with me, otherwise we're gonna burn down your entire nation first.
Yeah. But it also seemed like he had like a love interest for her.
I thought that's what they were
slight
going.
Love interest.
I don't like that though.
I don't either, but that's definitely the way they made it seem.
I hear there was like a draft of the script, or there were like cut scenes where there was a romance between them, and I don't like that for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is I'm a huge advocate for letting guys and girls be friends in movies. Like, come on.
You mean like Shang-Chi?
Dude, okay. If Shang-Chi gets with Awkwafina, I'm going to be really mad.
Oh, I thought at the end of that movie they were...
No, they were still friends.
Oh, okay.
Their friendship is so wholesome.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I've always been the kind of person who, like, people were like, oh, are you two together? It's like, no, we're just really good friends. Shut up. So
I think they went with the right choice with them just...
I do too.
Being allies, and Wakanda's going to protect Talokan.
Yeah, and their relationship has a lot of room to grow for sequels. So
well, I will say that little slight relationship thing kind of makes sense in the sense of you need this necklace to become Black Panther again. So it made sense to the story.
It made sense. Yes.
Oh, the gift? Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, that's just kind of how royals would do things.
But that's something that you give your wife or girlfriend or something like that, because that was his mother's necklace.
Yeah.
I mean, that is true. It's very personal, but it's more of like it's a gesture to sway her into.
It's a simple gesture, but
well, that's just kind of how royals did things back in feudal societies. They would give gifts. Yeah. Like, here's a token of my appreciation for you coming and seeing my kingdom. Now let's go wreck house at this other kingdom.
I'm just slightly justifying slight tease of their relationship.
Property, like.
I mean, yeah, because who gives away their money? If your mom give you a ring, you don't want to give that ring to your girlfriend if you're going to turn your wife.
I see what he's saying, where they would give gold to other people visiting, but it's the fact that it was his mother's bracelet that makes it seem like he was really interested in her. Here's my mom's bracelet. It's almost like in Crazy Rich Asians, when the mom gave her ring to the son to give to the daughter. Like, it's a family heirloom that you pass on to the son's wife, so the heirloom could be passed throughout the family.
I just think it's supposed to hold a lot of significance, and she's supposed to go, "Oh wow, this means a lot to him."
Hey, she broke it anyway. She took the plan out of it anyway, so it doesn't even really matter.
I mean, that's what Namor wanted, but she broke it and made a badass suit out of it.
And she reconstructed the heart-shaped herb out of it, so I'm cool with it.
I kind of like how her suit has some Killmonger influence.
Oh yeah, the gold accents
and the beads. Yeah, kind of referencing his scars. That was cool.
I thought it represented her. Like in the first movie.
True. Okay. Yeah. I saw it as a Killmonger reference, but that's probably closer.
The one thing I have a question about is if you can now recreate the heart-shaped herb, and you've obviously recreated it pretty fast, why not mass produce this herb and give it to the people so your people can fight?
Cultural significance.
Yeah, it's a cultural significance thing. The only people who get the herb are the Black Panthers. They can get vibranium. And you see, she gave her people the suit. She gave Okoye and it's
Okoye and a new one.
I forgot her name, but they got the new suit. So it's like she's doing stuff for her people, but the herb thing, no, it is only for the Black Panther.
Also, with a nation that has the history of civil war like that, you don't want to give your citizens the power to overthrow your family.
Yeah, somebody can turn into a full Killmonger.
Okay, go ahead.
But I thought the Black Panther is passed down through men. Isn't it?
Well, it normally is, I think.
So then they can just break it.
No, it's passed down. It's passed down by who wins that competition. Now, I will say that they broke traditions in this movie, but they kind of had to a sense.
Yeah.
what they
I think
did.
it's implied that it's men, but it's never stated.
Okay.
Yeah. But she should have been making armor for her people. I just feel like she did. No, not just the 2 suits. She obviously could make a Black Panther suit.
But in the comic books, the Midnight Angels, there's an army of them, so maybe we might see
that's a setup for the next one.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that's going to probably take over for the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
Or they might kind of transition into their like Spec Ops unit. That would be kind of neat.
That would
also,
be
mentioning Dora Milaje, Okoye, she lost her rank, and she's no longer a member of the Dora Milaje, and Ayo is now the head of
Dora Milaje. Oh, is that her name?
Ayo.
Okay.
Yeah, Okoye, she's the one played by Denai Guerrero. And Ayo, she's played by a different actor. Yeah. She was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier when she took his arm off.
Yeah. Isn't Okoye getting her own show?
I heard, there's a rumor. There's a Black Panther series rumor, so...
Because, I mean, we could see more of the Midnight Owls. Or Midnight Angels.
That's what I thought, Midnight Owls.
I thought it was 2, but
Marvel got Midnight Angels and Midnight Suns.
So we could see these Midnight Angels in Okoye, where maybe she's running a special ops.
I mean, you see what they kind of set something up for it, because she got Ross out of...
like, what do they need him for? Yeah. Well, and I definitely think they got him out because he was helping them so much.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good contact. And I also like how he's in it, but he doesn't take a huge role in it, because there's so much other things going on. He helps the plot forward a little bit, but not, like, he doesn't overtake it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I like the idea of a spin-off for Black Panther or for, like, the Midnight Angels. I think just keeping it to the movies would be good.
But get this, you would have to wait, like, another near 4 years. And you see, like I said, example, Angel forgot some of the things that happened in the first movie. And that's kind of what's happening when you pack. I'm just using you as an example, not using you to target. But, and there's there's millions of fans that are like Angel who might have forgot some aspects of it. So some people might have forgot aspects of it. And that's where I think that, it's good that
that's why you have crossover events.
But that's where you can take in the whole Disney Plus aspect and give some opportunity. So it's like, so you don't forget,
But Marvel's having a huge quality versus quantity
issue.
Right now.
Yes.
They have a huge issue. And here's the thing, I haven't even watched She-Hulk or Miss Marvel.
You don't need to.
Have you heard about it?
Or Thor Love and Thunder. I haven't watched any of those.
You don't need to watch
Granted, I'm probably going to get around to them eventually.
Continuity, of course.
For continuity, you should watch them, but...
Is there really not?
No, it's
I'm
actually
only
not.
Gonna watch something if I need to for the next thing that I'm super interested in. Like, I debated watching Thor and Love and Thunder for the Guardians Holiday Special.
But even then, you don't need to watch it.
Exactly, because it's a holiday special. Why would it connect a lot to Thor Love and Thunder?
But even then, Thor Love and Thunder was a standalone. It didn't have anything to really...
but the Guardians were in it. That's why I was debating.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where the debate came from. But I think that if you keep it to the films for Black Panther, keep them, larger budget, epics. Because this one, I feel like, felt kind of like an epic. It felt like I don't want to compare it to Dune, because I don't know if that's fair, because Dune is... There's kind of like a difference there. But it did feel kind of more like an epic as opposed to like a Marvel movie. It felt a little more than a Marvel movie.
I mean, it had a real life aspect in it.
Yeah.
So it's like they parallel each other. Like when Denai Guerrero was crying, I felt that Okoye was crying and her real life self was crying too. It's like I could feel both of them.
Yeah, and same thing with Angela Bassett as the queen.
Oh yeah, her lines.
Letitia Wright.
Oh yeah, she got to get something for her job she did in this movie.
I actually think this film deserves Oscar nominations more than the second or the first. I mean. Now, granted, I do think Marvel films should be nominated, just in general, but not always.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Black Panther, I can see that.
Yeah. But and the score for this one was really good, too.
Yeah.
They did really good.
Ludwig Göransson, he's fantastic.
He worked on the first one, too.
He also worked on The Mandalorian. So,
he did.
Yeah.
And that... He does amazing scores. He even he's a producer for Childish Gambino as well. So he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Also, I like how they kind of still keep up with some of the parallels from the first movie. Like you got a car chase scene in the first one. You got a car chase scene in the second one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. You got
some nice parallels.
Yeah, and you got the whole parallel with Queen Ramonda coming back to Wakanda after she met with the UN, and you see how she was holding her hat, her crown, like T'Challa was holding his helmet coming back.
Yeah,
and then you had the same, score, but then just a little bit different to it towards the end of it.
Yeah, well, it keeps the leitmotifs.
Yeah, it had the whole like Lion King almost aspect with the guy singing at the beginning. Hey, it's a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of people compare the first Black Panther to Lion King because it does take a lot of inspiration from like Hamlet, which Lion King is basically just Hamlet with animals. Yeah. So, yeah, but I kind of like that. It does feel a little Shakespearean. And we haven't had that since like the first Thor. So
yeah, and I'm hoping that they still keep up with some of the same aspects when they do a third movie.
Yeah.
So like if you gave a car chase scene in this one, give a car chase scene in the third one, and then also have a flyover scene when you come back into Wakanda. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
That's just something that I look forward to when I see it now that they've already set the standard up for it.
Let's move to the final battle.
I was thinking the same thing.
Your nation's got amazing tech. You bring this big old boat, and the only thing it does is it has something shoot sonic beams at the bottom of it.
I think it was sound waves, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was a little rushed.
Yeah.
That was a little rushed.
I don't know, but if you could build this boat...
No, the boat, I mean.
Oh, but if you could have built this big old boat... Also, I did see something where their armies did get pretty wiped out in Black Panther and in Endgame. So that force that they brought on the boat might have been a majority of their troops.
Well, and remember, they got attacked earlier in the film, too.
Yes, that too.
Wakanda is very wounded.
Yeah, their army is very whittled down. So that might have been either all of their troops or at least a majority of their forces.
I wouldn't say all. I would say majority.
Yeah, because you never would bring all your forces into your battle.
And, I mean, at the end, there's that point where they're all at the end of the ship. They're being surrounded. Yeah. And there's, like, less than a dozen
there's like 20
dudes.
people. Yeah,
so, like... So they got wiped out pretty good. And we were talking before we were recording, and I know you guys have issues with the final battle, but the way I see it is it's first of all, when I was watching it, I didn't care. I just didn't care. I was having a great time with it.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, it's a little reminiscent of season 8 of Game of Thrones with Battle of Winterfell. With the tactics are stupid, but it looks great.
I did love the way the Dora Milaje were jumping off the side. Yeah, that was pretty cool because it almost reminded me of that movie with in China where they got the aliens that are trying to jump up the Great Wall, and they have the teams that jump down and kill them. It had like
the Great Wall. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. The way it reminded me of that where they're jumping down. A terrible movie, but but that was cool. That them hanging off the side. But if your enemy lives in the water, wouldn't you bring your ships? I mean, maybe they're running out of ships, but if they had brought a bunch of ships, they could have shot down a lot of them.
A lot of them off the ship.
I think part of it was they were trying to be discreet and have it be a little bit more of an ambush.
And I think she was trying to reason with him a little bit more than
but you could have cloaked more ships.
They could have cloaked. They could have cloaked way more.
They probably could have felt the vibrations of
the
water. like think about it. They're submerged in water 90% of the time. You don't think they use the vibrations?
Also, they can hear while they're in the water. Yeah. Namor alluded to when he was talking to Shuri when he said that you want to burn the world down. Let's burn it down together. Yeah, so he was in the water when she said it. Yeah. So they can hear when they're underwater.
Which we completely skipped over that scene, the little fire.
Oh yeah, when they were,
and that's the start of the science versus spiritual.
And I meant to say it when you said that, because you also said that you thought she would see her mother, when if she was in a better mindset. But then towards the end, when she was fighting Namor, and she had the choice to kill him, she saw her mother.
Which that brings me back to a thought I had in the middle of the movie, and this is maybe the only missed opportunity. With the fact that she basically 3D printed the heart-shaped herb, I think it would have been cool is if they took it in a slightly different direction where she takes it, but because it's not the true heart-shaped herb,
she can start like seeing into the is it realm of the ancestors?
The ancestral plane.
Ancestral plane. Thank you. Where like her vision keeps going in and out of it. And she keeps hearing like voices of her ancestors. That could have been kind of neat. So then she has to deal with the influence of like her mom, Killmonger, T'Chaka. That's T'Challa's father, right? Yeah. That could be kind of a neat way to go about it. They obviously didn't.
Well, yeah.
And again, maybe they didn't have enough time because there was already so much to this movie.
I mean, it was so much to get the movie made. They made it during COVID. There was a time trying to get Letitia Wright in the U.S. Yeah, that was a conflict there.
Oh,
and she got hurt filming.
So, once she got hurt, it took forever to get her back over.
And then let's not forget, the whole movie was a whole rewrite. Ryan Coogler had a whole nother script already made, and they had to rewrite the whole thing. So
which I mean, I think part of me is always going to wonder what that.
Like. It would have been a completely different movie, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't heard any of you guys say much about Riri Williams' Ironheart. I haven't heard any of you guys say much.
She's fine.
Do you want me
to
say?
I'll bring up the suit part.
Yeah, I mainly have a problem with her suit.
That and like the cornrow parts at the top.
You're gonna give up a hand that can create a gun to just take on a full gun as one of your arms? Because she was trying to get the girl off her back, but she couldn't grab her with both arms because she didn't have a hand. I mean,
she's a college student.
No, you ain't gonna get that because she's the smartest college student there is.
She still laser beamed her with the chest.
She did, but it also begs to the question: even Iron Man didn't do this. To have like an ability of shooting somebody off your back, I don't think he did it. But if somebody jumps on your back, a gun, you have some type of deterrent to blast them off.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Iron Man, though, was that he kept learning from his mistakes. Because throughout the movies, things that happened
he didn't
have a precaution for, he'd address it for in a future movie, which is a small little detail that I've always loved.
Yes.
And then another thing, too, you got to think about, she was able to make this suit a lot faster because she had the resources of Wakanda.
Yes.
Even though she didn't get to keep it, Shura told her, "Hey, you can't take the suit with you. She stays here."
Yeah, so she'll just come back in the third one.
Well, or the Armor.
Or she make her own suit.
In Armor Wars, we should see her.
Oh yeah.
And Ironheart, she's getting her own show.
Yes. So
next year.
Yes. Okay. Does Armor Wars come first?
No.
Okay,
so Ironheart comes
Ironheart, she probably is going to be building another suit.
And it might have a post-credit scene to Armor Wars.
To Armor Wars, yeah. And maybe in Armor Wars, she gets an upgrade to her suit by teaming up with Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Because you got to think he's got to have access to Stark Tech still.
Probably. I find it funny that they moved it from a show to a movie. I kind of like that, though. Because I don't know what they would do.
Probably just be a 6-episode show like they've been doing.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Iron Man characters that were never used. Deuce, I think it was like Deuce and Domino or something like that. Crimson Domino or something like that. And Titanium Man, that's one of them.
Crimson Dynamo, is that?
Crimson Dynamo, there it is.
Is that the guy with the Is that the mutant guy with the whips?
No, that's Whiplash.
No. I'm talking. He's like the Russian version of like.
Whiplash was Russian.
Wolverine.
I know he's talking about.
Like a mutant.
That's a mutant character. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry. That's a different
my brain
went somewhere else. Yeah.
Whiplash they used in the second movie.
Yeah. So there's a lot more Iron Man characters that wasn't used that they can now use. Because I think that they didn't use as much Iron Man characters in the Iron Man lore to set up the Avengers. So that's why I think they didn't want to go too deep into Iron Man.
Well, kind of going back to the final battle, what do we think with the Namor versus Shuri fight?
I always am pissed off when people who don't see a lot of combat are just really good at fighting. Namor obviously is great at fighting. Shuri should not have been that good.
I think it was mainly just her strength that was helping her. And she has seen combat before.
But she was doing a lot of acrobatic stuff. Did you see what she was doing on that ship? That was some acrobatic stuff.
That's the problem I have, is she was...
Maybe it's the connection with the Earth.
Maybe it is, yes.
The connection with the Black Panthers and the lineage, and, maybe it's her ancestors fighting with her, so...
I mean, they didn't make it a point to show that she was kind of out of her element in combat. So I don't see the whole she hasn't seen a lot of combat thing, because maybe she's been trained, because maybe the royal family has to be trained in combat. And she fought in Black Panther and Infinity War and Endgame.
But she got messed up in Black Panther.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say that from Black Panther to now, she probably has had some combat training, and that's maybe something we don't need to see.
One thing that I kind of forgot about was when Okoye had been deranked, like stripped of her rank, and Shuri went down to talk to her. They didn't really talk about how T'Challa was dusted.
They didn't.
So they lost him twice.
Yeah, that would have been nice in aspect to.
You know what?
All they needed was one line, in my opinion.
They didn't. Say one thing about it,
which I found interesting because that's an interesting thing to.
They did mention Thanos though.
They did because when she went to Haiti to get the girl. She talked about leaving because
that wasn't with Okoye. That was with Nakia.
With Okoye and Nakia, they had a conversation back in Wakanda where they met each other again. They said when Thanos left and you left, when Thanos attacked and you left, it hurt. And
she said something about I had to leave after he was gone. I can't remember what she said, but
she would have left after he was dusted, I think.
Yes,
I mean, but she wasn't in Infinity War
when he died the first time.
I think she was already gone.
She was gone.
Yeah.
She was gone.
She wasn't in Endgame.
Yeah, she wasn't in Infinity War, and she didn't fight with the whole battle.
She was gone after he got dusted.
Wow. Yeah. So that.
I thought it was before. Like she left Wakanda before the Infinity War battle.
Yeah.
Because she should have fought
6 years ago.
Yes. Okay, I was thinking you were meaning the Endgame battle. I'm sorry.
No. Infinity War, because
she must have left after she got pregnant,
and she should have been there in that battle too.
So she said she left 6 years ago. There was a 5-year time skip
for the dusting.
Infinity War to Endgame, and then a 1-year time skip in the beginning of this film.
Yeah.
So before Infinity War,
Infinity War, she left. Yes. That was probably after she became pregnant. And they wanted her to step away.
Yeah.
So he's never seen the kid.
No. He has. He has seen the kid.
They said they celebrated his funeral.
You're right.
If we do the timeline right, he saw the kid for probably a year, or I guess I don't know. We don't know exactly how old the kid is, so that we have to take that into account.
I mean, he could have came back, and the kid wasn't snapped, and he could have came back. He could have had some time with his 5-year-old.
Son. Okay. Yeah. That's what we have to assume at least.
We have to assume, yeah.
Oh, and we didn't even talk about the attack on Wakanda. I really liked that scene, actually.
When he flooded the throne room.
Now, I will fully admit, they could have had a more, epic death for the Queen.
Yes, that was a pretty pathetic death for her.
It was good that she, had a semi-heroic death saving Riri, but I do think that it could have been a little more epic. She could have, fought Namor or something.
Okay. With that scene, I feel that there's two references you can kind of take some continuity and emotion and impact of the death from. So, Thor, the Dark World, Thor's mom, she fought Malekith with her last breath to protect Jane Foster. So that could have been related. And then also, you gotta parallel the way Green Goblin threw that bomb and then May died. That's pretty much the same thing that happened. He threw bombs, she died too.
Yeah.
So
pretty much, if you're a Marvel mom, you're dying.
Dang. In any aspect.
If you're fighting a villain with bombs, because he has water bombs.
So
speaking of that was kind of creative.
That was very
creative.
Yeah, it makes sense too. That would hurt.
That was actually because you got to assume that it's releasing water at a massive pressure too.
Yeah,
basically
it's a literal
cutting anything in half.
Water, yeah.
But was there so much? I didn't understand how there was so much water. Was there so much water coming out of the bombs that it filled the tower up? Because the tower wasn't.
Didn't he throw?
He threw quite a bit of bombs.
So
it was
we're gonna assume that he threw so many it filled the tower.
To be fair, one of those could fill most of this room.
Let's assume that he stole some pin particles and pin particle water.
Not everything's connected to me.
Let's talk about the emotional aspect of it with the whole Rihanna song at the end.
Yeah.
She made a song specifically for this movie. to sell the aspect
Yeah.
of and let you guys, have. Basically, I feel that going into this movie, it was like a real funeral to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was.
So when that song played, it kind of booked in, Chadwick's, his experiences as Black Panther.
Yeah.
I like the end where they were showing montages of him in the past, which was great.
This was one of my favorite Marvel endings for sure. I don't think anything's gonna beat Infinity War for me, but this one probably is second because it didn't have that kind of Marvel movie kind of ending where it's all like set up for the next one, or like most of them are just set up for the next one, or it's just like a joke at the end. Like with Spider-Man with the what the and then
we got
but
tiny
this
setup.
that's later. But this felt like I don't want to say like an actual like
tribute. It was
the ending where she's burning the clothes, and there's that sweet montage, and then she has tears running down her face, and then she smiles and cut to black. That's so simple and really effective, and that's seen in a lot of more like prestige film and TV. There was a show that came out on Hulu called The Bear. Not going to spoil it, but it has a similar kind of shot at the end, and it completely broke me. And so that kind of ending gets me. And I really loved how simple it was, how quiet it was. There's no music until credits and then the Rihanna song. I just thought it was very simple, very clean, very emotional.
We just saying Rihanna song.
Yeah.
What's the song called? Lift Me Up?
I don't know.
I think that's what it was called.
Lift Me Up, yeah.
Yeah, okay, Lift Me Up, yeah.
But there was that mid-credit scene. There's no end-credit scene, which I liked how it was a complete continuation of the previous scene.
Yes.
Because we rarely see that.
So, are y'all accepting of them just... You laughing? I'm being serious because at first I was sitting there thinking, but then I was like, after a couple days went by and then I seen the movie a couple more times, I thought to myself, you know what? I think that's cool that they set it up because there's a bunch of T'Challa Black Panther stories still, and that they didn't even get an opportunity to get to. So I feel that we're going to get those opportunities. We might even get T'Challa and Storm in the future somehow. I don't know. So it's a lot of opportunities there.
There will be some neat connections to Storm Wakanda.
I'm okay with him being Chadwick's kid, but he has to come back to Wakanda and fight for the throne the right way.
I think it's not going to be till like the third or fourth.
Yeah, well,
fourth.
We might never see him come back. But if you want to introduce him as the next Black Panther, he has to come and fight for the throne.
I mean, that's where I think that he's going to bring the tradition back to Wakanda because right now they've done things untraditionally. So,
yeah,
that's another theme to kind of go with tradition versus
science,
progressive.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought.
Well, yeah, like progression towards kind of breaking those traditions.
Breaking tradition,